Welcome back to Nuclear News. We are diving through the fundamentals of the nuclear space. Ridiculous amount of activity every single week. What's really going on? So we're going to have to just cover it right now, blow your mind per usual, because this stuff is mind-blowing to me. That's why I'm so excited. Sprott Uranium Miners ETF, year to date, up 38%. The S&P 500, remember, everyone's 401ks are in this, up 7.84% and falling, right? So why are uranium companies continuing to outperform the broader market? Well, let's dive through exactly what is going on in this space. This comes from Sprott Asset Management. They shared this, and this is the energy mix of the US in October, right? So these are our options for energy. We have natural gas, we have nuclear, number two, coal, believe it or not, tied with nuclear, wind and solar, completely and utterly unreliable. This is after they've spent trillions of dollars on renewables, right? So kind of a pathetic showing for these renewable assets, given the amount of money they've wasted on them, right? So let's think about the other viable ones. We have natural gas, we have nuclear, and we have coal. Obviously, we know coal is extremely hated, so the elite are going to not choose that one. We can kind of assume they're not going to go big into coal. Then there's natural gas and nuclear. Well, this comes from the International Energy Agency trying to push the green agenda. And this is from their report, and they're showing investment flow. So where's all the money actually going? Oil down, right? This from 2015 to 2022. Natural gas, which we just showed, is the dominant form of energy in the US, down, right, from 2014 to 2022. And so what you can see is investment money is moving and trending into the green low emission powers, right? Which obviously includes nuclear in green. And so if we go back to this chart, that big wall of green investment capital is moving in one direction, and that is straight into that red line, trying to increase it. Obviously incredibly exciting for the demand. So let's dive deeper into the fundamentals of this space. White House calls on Congress to support critical domestic needs. This is where the future of this space is going. This is the most important paragraph, obviously, for viewers of this channel. Improve long-term domestic enrichment capabilities for low-enriched uranium and high-assay low-enriched uranium. This is a national security priority, as dependence on Russian sources of uranium creates risk to the U.S. economy and the civil nuclear industry that has been further strained by Russia's war in Ukraine. Without action, Russia will continue its hold on the global uranium market to the detriment of U.S. allies and partners. To be successful, this initiative would also require a long-term ban on enriched uranium product imports from the Russian Federation into the United States. It's pretty funny if you're Russia, just like seeing this, saying, okay, they're totally dependent and desperate for us to provide them uranium fuel. It's just funny to think about how much power they wield and like what they could possibly do with that power to force the U.S. into submission, especially when the U.S. is kind of publicly saying how desperate everyone is on Russia. Very interesting, the power dynamics behind the scenes there. This comes on October 25th. So very pertinent, very important, very top of mind for U.S. politicians. And we are talking about billions of dollars flooding into this space. U.S. House panel advocates energy bills as Speaker chaos stalls floor action. Let's look at the highlights of this article, right? House Energy and Commerce approved 17 bills, 12 bills to support nuclear energy. We're still in the early stages of the mass adoption of nuclear. I've said it before, probably 50 times, and I'll probably say it again another 50 times, Lord willing. Transportable micro reactor project gets U.S. Department of Energy support. X-Energy Reactor Company and the U.S. Department of Energy have signed a cooperative agreement through 2024 to further advance the development of a transportable mobile micro reactor design. So the U.S. Department of Energy investing in small modular reactors, very early stages, 3 microreactor designs selected for U.S. test bed experiments. Radiant, Ultrasafe Nuclear Corporation, and Westinghouse, now Cameco, have been awarded U.S. Department of Energy funding totaling $3.9 million for front-end engineering and experiment design of their respective microreactor designs in a new test bed facility at Idaho. Brand new money flowing into the small modular reactor space. which again is an exponential catalyst for nuclear energy proliferation around the world. Finland to remove SMR obstacle next year. Sweden already removed their nuclear energy obstacle, the ceiling they had on nuclear plants, right? So expect Sweden to boom. Now expect Finland nuclear energy to boom and proliferate. Again, not factored into previous demand models. Government closely monitoring, in Singapore, government closely monitoring nuclear options, including small modular reactors. We must stay abreast of promising solutions, right? What's so exciting here is how early stage we are, how unknown the massive exponential increase in nuclear power is, right? All the models projecting demand don't even have those last three stories really in it. This is all brand new news. So the world's just waking up to what is going on. That's why uranium is pumping. So John Quakes shared this on Twitter. South Korea's nuclear utility, KHNP, is seeking to buy 6.5 million pounds of uranium for delivery between 2026 and 2030 with a $58 per pound floor and a $90 per pound ceiling price, right? This is why we cover the demand of nuclear, because it's so impactful on the price. So the previous articles we just walked through prove out how massively exponential the demand for nuclear is. This proves how much huge upside there is, because these utilities, these plants that we're talking about being put into production, are willing to pay up to $90 per pound. What if it goes over $90 per pound? Would they be willing to pay it? Yes, because they need it. Incredibly exciting when you actually understand this. And so this is what is going on with the supply, just ever shrinking supply of uranium. Uranium Royalty Corp announces 1 million pounds of uranium purchased at $70 per pound, receiving first delivery of 300K pounds, right? So you have Wall Street funds buying up as much scarce uranium as possible in anticipation of the coming supply crunch. Uranium 308 announces public sale of uranium-backed token. This is the crypto way of creating a Sprott uranium physical trust, right? The more money flowing into this token, the more physical uranium is going to be taken out of supply. So just trying to paint a picture for you of the incredible supply-demand fundamentals of uranium. Demand skyrocketing, supply shrinking. Doesn't get better than this.